Hi, welcome to the Brocade Campus Feature Explainer Series. I'm Terry Henry. Today we're going to have a look at the Brocade Campus TCO Calculator. So the TCO Calculator is a tool available on the Brocade website to help you calculate a comparative price for total cost of ownership over 5 years for Brocade campus switches, in this case, versus Cisco or HP. So let's have a look at how that works. So what you can do is if you go to www.brocade.com/campus-TCO, it will take you there, or just use the search box in the Brocade site, search for campus TCO, and it will bring up the TCO calculator. So the first page here in the calculator, as it says, you're 3 steps away from seeing how Brocade can reduce your campus network acquisition, power, cooling, and support costs. So first we choose a vendor. So you have to choose Brocade versus Cisco or Brocade versus HP. So we will choose Cisco. And then it wants to know what you're trying to build in terms of the infrastructure. So are you interested in access only, unified wire and wireless access, aggregation, two-tier collapse access and aggregation, aggregation and core, or core only? So in this case, we will stick with access. And then it wants to know the number of user ports, right? So I don't know, we'll say 2,000 user ports. So those are obviously going to include not just user PCs, but access points, printers, server, anything that would plug into that access network. So probably not servers, but and then under advanced options here, we have the oversubscription level. So it doesn't mean oversubscription on the device itself. We don't build a device that's oversubscribed. It means oversubscription of your uplinks, right? So so low oversubscription would be 5 access ports in terms of bandwidth to one, so maybe 5 gig ports to 1 gig uplink. The medium might be 10 gig ports to 1 gig uplink and 20 to 1 in terms of high. So we're going to stick with the medium here, which is the default. So this would be access to aggregation. This is aggregation to core. Now in this case, we don't have any core devices in this configuration, but if we did, this would be relevant. Level of support. So it's going to go with next business day replacement as opposed to 4 hour. You can, if you like, change the price per kilowatt hour for hydro, and the price per square foot. So in this case, it's using 11 cents and $25 a square foot. Obviously, where you live, it might be vastly different. So you can change those. And then the hardware discount level, it's going with 20% for both vendors. So if you know what your discount level is with Brocade and or the other vendor, then you can change those there. And lastly, the service and support discount. So they're assuming 15% for each vendor for service and support. So all things being equal, this should be a very, very fair comparison. So we're just going to leave those as the defaults. And then we're going to continue. Okay. So then it wants to know, what kind of stackable you're using, right? So this would be compact switches. These are 12-port switches. Entry level PoE, entry level stackable with 10 gig uplink. So it's our 7250 versus the 2960X. Mid-range stackable, so the 7450 versus the 3850, and then high end, it's the 6610 versus the 3850. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just choose. We'll just choose entry level stackable, right? So the 7250 versus the 2960X. So that's a pretty fair comparison. And then it is. Let's see. So it's going to compare the 48 port, 2 ports of 10 gig, to use for uplinks in this case, the PoE model. All right, so really quickly, right, here's our acquisition cost. So we are 181,000 for those 2,000 ports. Cisco's 308,000, so it's 41% cost savings. Here's a 5-year service and support, so 18 grand. We have next business day advanced replacement built into the device. And versus the Cisco SmartNet cost, so 81% savings there. Power and cooling's 23%. Floor space is the same. It's exactly the same footprint for those both. So total access layer savings is 48%. So then in a pretty graph here, average cost per year of hardware plus operating expenses plus depreciation. So Brocade versus Cisco, so we're roughly half here, and then total cost over 5 years. And then so you can go back and calculate again and start over again, or we can get a report. So this report takes 30 seconds or so to generate, but it will be in a savable format. And so the beauty of this report is, whenever it comes up here, is that it will also have the complete bill of materials. So we have no intention of pulling the wool over anyone's eyes, right? So you can see exactly what SKUs are in that bill of material. You can see the discounts. So we'll open this, which opens on the wrong monitor. So this is what we just looked at, this graph at the top here. Um, then there's the graph, and then here's the bill of materials, right? So here's the complete breakdown of bill of materials and how we calculated those costs, right? So here's the 7250s. They're 48 port, 2 ports of 10 gig, 42 of those switches to make up the 2000 ports. Here's my uplink option. So they're adding the other 8 ports of 10 gig, and then the next business day support. Um, okay, and then if we look at the Cisco's, so 2960X, there's 42 of those. You need to add the stacking ports to stack them together. So there's an additional cost there, and then we have the 8x5 next business day support. So anyway, so that's how we calculate that. That's in a PDF, so you can save that and email it or whatever the case. But so anyway, that's a quick look at the TCO calculator, and I hope you find that useful. Thanks for joining. Take care.